Good day to everyone. Today we will try to model this eye in AutoCAD. So before modeling it, you have to look after the reference point where you have to locate it and you have to draw with respect to it. So when you look here, so the circles related to this 1, 2 and 3 circles, we can consider that as a reference. Based on that, we will try to model this particular diagram. So let us open AutoCAD. So let us go for new. The first step in AutoCAD is first we have to go for units. Let us type units. In units, I am going to give a precision of 0.00 and it has to be in millimeter. Once this is done, let me click OK. And I am going to fix this in a A3 sheet. If I go for a A3 sheet, the size of the A3 sheet is 420 and 297. So let us go for a rectangle. The size of the rectangle starts with 0, 0 and your x-axis it has to be 420 and y-axis is 297. So now let us zoom it, type zoom Z and press enter. In that I have to go for A all. So you can able to see it has been zoomed and I am going to draw my diagram here, somewhere here. Let us proceed. So here I am going to draw these two circles. For these two circles I need a line. The length of the line is around 70. Okay. So before that let us complete this circle which is having a diameter of 44 and there is another circle which is inside. So they mentioned here that there is a diameter of 26 which is 3 holes. 3 holes means 3 circles, 1, 2 and 3. So 44 is the outer circle, inner circle is 26 diameter. Let me draw that. So go for a circle diameter with using center diameters. So somewhere here, let me draw a circle. So first circle is 44 and the next circle is 26. So if I refer this, so 44 and 26, these are the two circles I have drawn. Now I have to draw a straight line, that is a horizontal line at a distance of 70. Let me draw that. Go for a line, make sure ortho is on and also O snap is also in on position. Let me go for a line. So now I get that center point. From here, the length of the line has to be 70. So this is the length. Now at the center of this, I have to draw these two circles again. So instead of doing that, what I can do, I can just select this, right click, go for copy selection. It is asking a base point. Base point is the center. From this center, I am just copying and putting it here. So there are two circles here. Okay. So this is what the thing is. Next. Now let us concentrate in drawing this circle. So to draw this circle, let us identify is there any dimensions related to this. So they mentioned 2 dimensions. If I consider this as a reference circle, from here 42 is my x location, y location is 90. Or if I consider this as a reference, from here 30 is my x-axis and 90 is the center point. So that location of this particular circle. So let us draw that by means of 2 lines. So I am going to consider this as a reference. So 30 and 90. So go for a line. So from here I am drawing an horizontal line towards this direction which is 30. Press enter. Towards vertical it has to be 90. Press 90, enter. So now I got the center point of this. So here I have to draw 2 more circles related to the diagram which is specified. Let us go for it. So the inner diameter is 26 which we already know. The outer diameter is mentioned as 60. So we have to draw a circle for 60 and 26. So go for a circle, click circle. From here diameter is 26. Another circle which is having a diameter of 60. Right. So this is the circle which we have completed. Now we will delete that reference lines, whatever we have drawn. So we have drawn on vertical line and one horizontal, we will delete it. So it should not be there. That I have considered only for a reference. So now let us try to draw this arc. So this arc is of diameter, so radius 23. So to make this arc, I can go for a fillet command. So what I can go, I can type fillet, F-I-L-L-E-T. It is asking radius, let me go for radius R, press enter. So what is the radius of the fillet? So the radius of the fillet is 23. So type it as 23, press enter. Now it is asking you to select the object. This is my first object and this is my second object. So we will get that fillet. This point is over. Next, we will try to draw this circle. If I consider this circle, the circle has to be tangent to this circle and this circle. Okay, so there are two tests. One is tangent of this circle, and they also mention what is the radius of this, which is 105. So if I refer AutoCAD, if I go for arc commands, you don't have any provisions related to tangent, and radius. So there is no possibility in arcs. So instead of going for arc, let us go for a circle. In circle, we have an option called as tangent, radius. So let us go for this and let us complete the circle based on that. So go for tangent, radius. Select the first circle, second circle. Now it is asking radius. Radius is 105. So you can able to see that the circle is produced like this because the point where I selected is at the wrong position. So the point I selected here and here. So it creates a tangent and I have drawn like this. Actually the first point has to be here, somewhere here. The second point has to be somewhere here. So the selection is very, very important. So this circle is not in proper direction. So I am deleting this again. I am redoing this again, but I am selecting the tangent here somewhere, okay, in this location. So first tangent is here, second tangent is here, and radius is 105. See, so the circle has been plotted based on this side. So where you select is also very, very important. So selection, make sure you have proper selection with respect to this. Now go for trim command, TR, trim whichever is not required. So I have trimmed this entire part. So now let us go for this line. So one side I am going to draw it as a tangent. The other side should also be a tangent. But if I go for a line, there is no possibility of providing both as a tangent. But there are some ways to do that. First, let us draw a line. So go for a line. Make sure in your O snap all is selected, which is I actually require this quadrant. Everything has to be selected and it is enabled. Okay, now go for a line. So just go for this until it shows a quadrant. So I am selecting here, moving my cursor to this. So I am just switching off this ortho. So moving my cursor. So when I move it, it shows a symbol like this indicating that it is a tangent of that. So at that location you click. Okay, now let me click escape. So now you can able to see that this line is tangent to this particular circle, but it is not tangent to this circle. Okay, because I have taken a quadrant and I have drawn. Okay, so what I have to do is I have to make this as a tangent of this, right? So to do that, so I am going to one more option. So at the top, you have parametric. Let me click that parametric option. In parametric, geometric parametric, there is an option called as tangent. So select this tangent. Now it is asking objects which has to be tangent. The first object is this, that is my line. The second object is this circle. Select this two. So now you can able to see that that line has become a tangent. So you will get a symbol like this. So just for reference that this is a tangent. If you want to hide, just click this X button here, that will hide. Okay, so I am zooming it out, right? So now you can able to see that. So the line has been completed, but there is an extension of this line. So what I can do, I can go for trim this. And now let us go for concentrating of inside this circle. So when you go here, you can able to see there are some circles. The diameter of the circle is 6. You can able to see that it is at the center. So going for a line, so from the top of this, from this quadrant, the distance is 17. Okay, that is the total. You can able to see total length of this particular line. Okay, so the center of this line, this is where we are going to draw the circle. You know that radius of the diameter of the circle is 10. So go for circle center diameter. So identify the center point. From here, draw a circle of 10. Okay, so this is only for a reference. Later I can delete this. Now we have to go for array. So in that you have to go for polar array. So go for polar array. It is asking you to select an object. Select the object. Confirm the selection by pressing enter. Now it is asking the center point. My center point is here. Click the center point. Now it shows 6. So it is proper. So when you look at the problem, so the question is also 6. So it is here also, it is at 6 part. So no need to worry. So locate it accordingly and then press close. Make sure associative is off. If you want to edit something, click close array. So this is the drawing. So the other part what we are going to do is we have to go for making this as a center. So you can able to see some lines here and the center line with respect to that. These are all we call it as a center lines. So to do that, what I can do, I will click here, click on any one of this corner until it becomes a red. So what I am doing is I am just moving my cursor to this. I am not clicking anything, just keeping the cursor. It shows in red color. Now click it and drag. So for higher distance. Similarly, here also I am clicking here and dragging. Okay, I am not clicking continuously. I am clicking once, dragging. Again, I am clicking to come out of the command. So similarly, I am also doing same with respect to this. So I'll do somewhere here. Okay, see it is not straight. Let me go for ortho on. So now you can able to see we are getting like this. Okay, similarly another with respect to this. If it is not proper, you can start from the center. See, there are two center lines. Okay, so I will start from the center like this. Next, click this, keep your cursor nearer to that, click and drag. Okay, so you can able to see that there is a issue here. So it is not properly arranged because of that fillet. So maybe I will do this fillet again. Let me delete this again. We go for fillet. So what is the radius? Click radius. So go for it. Radius is 23. So okay, 23. It is at 23 only. Let me select this point and this point. Okay. So most of the time you complete the fillet at the end. So to avoid any mistakes related to that. Okay. So similarly, I will draw a circle from this to the center of this. Sorry. I go for circle radius, center radius from here to the center of this. Okay. This is the circle with respect to that. Now go for properties. So in layers, click others. Here click load, select center, click OK, and then click OK here. Now you select what are the lines we have to make it as center. Select all the lines which is to be considered as a center lines. Select all this, go to the layer, select center. Okay. So you can able to see that these lines, so the center line is very large in scale. If you want to reduce it, use a command called as LT scale. So line type scale, that is the meaning of this. Type line type scale, click enter. Now the scale factor is 1. To reduce it, I will go for 0.5. See, you have lots of dots. Still if you want to reduce, go for LT scale again, reduce it more, let me go for 0.2 or 0.3. Okay, you have lots of lines like this. So this complete this diagram. Okay, thank you.